third time that England have confirmed their place in the knockout stages of the World Cup after 2 games of the group. Identical goal difference and goals scored means Belgium and England may have to be separated by fair play records if they draw on Thursday. And even possibly if the fair play remains the same, it could go to lots. Gareth Southgate's side currently have 2 bookings, Belgium 3. Panama and Tunisia are out. Well, it's not often that we sit here and have a perfectly relaxed afternoon watching England play football. Not a single stress.
It was great fun. It was great to watch. Very, very enjoyable. As I said, some special performances, and they'll enjoy it tonight, and rightly so.
Harry Kane, he doesn't disappoint, Frank.
No. Well, this last few years that he's had, you know, the development of him as a player, a leader. Quite rightly captain of the team. He's a world star, everybody knows him, but he just keeps producing. Nothing's a problem for him. Even when things hit him on the back of the hill, they go in. I mean, that's when you know everything's going your way, but he deserves that stuff. He's a consummate professional. He's led the team brilliantly so far, and sometimes you make your own luck with your actions in general. Just on side, as we can see, pretty much level, and that's it. Take me off, manager, let me have a rest.
I think he's what I'm so impressed about him more than anything. He's such a wonderfully balanced individual. He never gets too excited about things when things are going well, and he never gets too down when things aren't going so well. So, and what that does is that allows him to have that confidence, that inner confidence and he goes in there and produces the goods week in, week out for his club, and he now is doing it as captain for his country.
You know things are going for you when you score a goal like that.
You think? Yeah, I know we said it before the Tunisia game. He's thinking golden boot.
Yeah, of course.
When things like that happen off the
Just
back of your heel,
to be substituted, be given a rest. He's actually the first player to score a brace or more in his first 2 World Cup appearances since Poland's Gregor Lato in 1974. Who would have thought?
And he's scored in every single game he's been England captain.
Yeah,
yeah. So he's enjoying that role.
11 goals in 7 games as captain as well. Yeah. And we can hear from him. Here he is, Harry Kane's with Gabby.
Congratulations, Harry. England into the last 16 with a game to spare. A hat-trick for yourself, the biggest ever win for England in a World Cup. What a day.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so proud of the boys, you know.
Leading goal scorer in the tournament now. I'm getting bored with all these mentions, I must say. I have to say as well, he's the first player to score a hat-trick for... First England captain, actually, to score a hat-trick since 1999. That was one Alan Shearer against the mighty Luxembourg.
I'm not getting fed up with all these mentions.
I mean, he's there, he's top of the charts.
Well, I said on Monday evening, for some players, this tournament could be life-changing. You come into the tournament as Harry Kane. If he goes away, Harry Kane, World Cup, Golden Boot winner, that's life-changing for someone. So, and as I just said, when goals are going in off the back of your heel, then you know you've got a chance.
The important thing as well to remember is that if you're going to progress in a World Cup, you need someone to bang in goals.
Yeah, I think those are the rules for pretty much every level of football. No matter what you do, no matter how you set up, he is the man that we really need in crucial moments. And we haven't had these crucial moments yet, but we will have a game that tests us, that's tight, that's, you know, on a knife edge. And Harry Kane is the man you put your money on.
Which he did in the first game, didn't he? Of course. Let's hear from the other goal scorer with a brace, John Stones.
Huge
look at that Panama goal. A couple of set pieces, weren't there? One before, they had a really good chance that fell to Torres eventually, and then Beloy scored as well. Is this reason for concern for England, or have they kind of switched off by this stage?
Well, yeah, I think this is what happens when you start to make 1 or 2 changes. A couple of people come on, you forget your jobs, you go a little bit lazy because you've been absolutely magnificent in the first half. You're leading by so many, and it was lazy defending. When you look at it from this angle, then it's John Stones is standing with his arm up, trying to play offside. Look, there he is, edge of the box, instead of going back with Beloy, the goal scorer. It is lazy defending. Yeah.
If you've got that high a line, you've got to drop.
Yeah, I think the line was too high. Rio, probably you know more about that really than me in terms of defender where you want to be, but I think you invite that space, invites that kind of ball into the space. But I don't think it's a bad thing for England, because I think it doesn't really matter, and it might just switch them on for when it might matter in future games.
Rio, too high?
Yeah, definitely too high when you look back here. But again, you've got people coming off the pitch, like Al said, and a bit disjointed, and it'll be something that will just tune them in again for next time when they play.
You imagine the Panama studio there.
Oh,
I'm sure they were. I mean, the players were ecstatic. They've scored a World Cup goal, the first one, magical moment. We've got to try and find that footage at some point over the next few days for you and to share. John Stones, we talked about, we just heard from him, opened the scoring as well. Always an important goal.
Yeah,
it's a threat from set pieces.
And I think potential opponents going forward will be sitting there thinking, we don't want England from set pieces, especially. They're going to be a threat. Yeah, we saw when he gets in here, it's a great header from the penalty spot there. Not an easy header. We see many a player head it straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Great play here from Ashley Young. Being a screen, he gets that yard, and then once he gets in there, he's clinical. And that's what we asked for before the game. When you get your chances, bury them. And here he had conviction, kept his eyes open, saw the bottom corner. But
the aggression actually to get there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get away from the...
Oh, do you know where this is? Newcastle.
Newcastle.
There they go. Look at the Geordies.
hey, beer's going everywhere. Look, beer cups everywhere.
It's great when it starts getting exciting, back home and everyone's getting in the World Cup mood.
I think we can do that as well. All this, let's relax. We've been too negative for too many years. They've got an opportunity now to be positive about our England team. Let's go for it. Let's be happy about it.
We're not going to be nervous again of any game. I don't think. 2-0. Penalty incident on... God, it's so long ago. It was Lingard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty, obviously. He gets a great ball from Trippier, whose delivery has been first class since the day one of the tournament. Great run from Jesse, which he's renowned for, which he knows after. The timing was perfect. And the defenders panic and bowl him over.
That was the impressive thing, I think, in the first half, was the passing and the running off the ball, and the weight of passing. As Rio said, Trippier was excelling in that role, and some of the passes he played, and Harry Kane tucked it away very, very well. Top corner, keeper, no chance. Confidence, sky high.
Top bins, they call it, don't they? What do you think? Lingard won the penalty. What do you think? Man of the match? Lingard? One of them?
Yeah. Yes. On his performance, yes. Yeah. Harry's obviously got 3 goals, but Lingard was brilliant.
Let's hear from him then. Jesse Lingard.
Jesse, huge congratulations. You've scored in a World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing feeling. Even better that we won. Top of the table, and we can go into the Belgian game with confidence.
It wasn't just your goal, though. Your performance overall today was excellent. You must be thrilled with the way you were able to perform out there.
Yeah, of course. The system we're playing, I thrive in that role, and it's great to be around the lads. There's a great team spirit at the moment.
It was an inspirational performance in many ways from England, the biggest ever win in a World Cup. You know what's going to happen now. Expectation is going to rise. People are going to start believing that this team can go all the way. With reason?
Yeah, of course. With the squad that we've got and the confidence flowing, I don't see why not. But at the moment we take it game by game. We're still learning, and we'll take it into the next game.
What's the mood in the dressing room? Because yours doesn't seem that elated at the moment.
No, I'm always like this in interviews. No, it's good. It's good vibes at the moment. A lot of positivity. So, we'll take it into the Belgian game.
Okay, for older viewers, which particular dance were you doing from your favourite computer game?
No, it's called the shoot dance.
I'm glad you got to perform it today.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Take care.
Well, we saw him in a good mood before the game with Gab. He's in a better mood now, and so he should be. Yeah. Fabulous performance and a breathtaking goal.
Well, we spoke about him before the game, missing the chances in the Tunisia game, but what a way to respond. It obviously didn't affect him at all, because you don't take this type of shot on if you're struggling with confidence. Give, go, follow the ball. Only one thing in his mind. You mentioned the top bin with a penalty, that's the other side.
The great thing about him is he's always on the move, this kid, and it'd be a nightmare for Frank to play against someone like that who's always looking to get into spaces behind you. It must be a nightmare for you, no?
See, that constant movement means that nobody ever latches onto him. No defender ever can say Jesse Lingard's mine, because then he moves into a different area. So he's always floating between people, and then when he then explodes or moves into that space, and with the ability he's got and the intelligence, he gets away from people.
We've found an England player that didn't score. Here's Ashley Young.
Congratulations, England through to the last 16, and you one of the few that had to stay out there for 90 minutes as well. Tell us a bit about conditions, tell us about the match.
It was very hard out there, but it's one of the things that both teams have got to play in it.
Maybe they're used to it more, but I think the confidence that we had coming into the game it showed, especially in the first half with the way that we got the goals, and we knew there was going to be more and more goals. So we showed that confidence to go and get them more.
It's a team full of confidence, especially after that first half, and then people expect more in the second, don't they? But Panama weren't going to give up. A little bit disappointing, as a defender to see that goal go in.
Yeah, of course we are. It could have been a near on perfect performance. Obviously it's disappointing to concede, but we take that nothing away from the performance that we put in. The boys from the goalkeeper to the forward line were fantastic. The boys that come on were fantastic. It's a squad game, and we said that, and everybody's got to play their part, and I think everyone done that today.
Tell us a bit about this squad of players and the system that you're playing as well, the trust you have to have with each other. When it's going well, it works brilliantly, doesn't it?
I've said from the start, from the time I come to this squad, the togetherness that I've seen is incredible. We've got that off the pitch, everyone mixes with each other, and everybody shows that confidence in training, and we're a team that want to play, and I think you see that from the back to the front, that everybody wants the ball, no one shies away from the ball, everyone wants to play, and everyone's good players here. I think we've just got to keep building on that, keep showing that confidence, and keep playing the way we have. You
have a captain out there who's scored every time he's been captain. He's leading scorer in the World Cup. The world is watching, and they are now going to be talking about England in this championship.
Yeah, of course they are. It would be nice for them to talk about us in a positive way, and we've just got to keep our feet on the ground and keep working hard in training. It's just the start of something good to come. So we've just got to keep working and look forward to the next game. And
are you expecting there to be many changes ahead of the Belgium game?
That's not up to me. That's down to the manager. So I'd have to make that decision.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
It will be interesting to see if he makes changes to the Belgium game. Martinez has already said that Belgium is going to give lots of people a different opportunity to perform. Do you think he should do, or do you build on the momentum?
No, I don't. I think there's...
but you play a lot of games in the World Cup.
They're all in the groove. They're very, very confident. They've got a system that they have great belief in. And everything becomes instinctive. 1 or 2 changes possibly, not 4 or 5. No, maybe Rose, maybe Rashford. Other than that, I would say if everyone's fit, keep it the same and keep that momentum going and keep carrying on.
I don't necessarily agree. I just think fatigue from playing past experiences plays a big part. If you're going to go deep into this tournament, I just think fatigue is a real important part. And you go into a game when you for the element of, am I fit enough to get through 90 minutes? Bearing in mind there could be extra time, that can play in your mind and be very negative in some aspects.
You have the deciding vote.
I'm sitting right in the middle of that. I think a few changes without disrupting what we're doing. I think also when in a long tournament you're giving people some game time, maybe Alexander-Arnold, Danny Rose again to get some more moments, but you don't change really the basics of the team.
I'll just go back to Euro 96, when we got on a roll, there was just this great feeling of we're a bit invincible here, we're not going to be beaten, we want to carry on. It'll be a tough one, but I would say 1 or 2.
Did it, Al? Didn't work.
Penalties get it.
I know, I'm only kidding.
Again.
We can hear from Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Congratulations, Ruben. You came into that team obviously because Dele Alli was injured, but it was seamless, wasn't it?
Oh, really, really happy with the performance from the boys, and to get out a 6-1 on World Cup start is fantastic. So delighted with it.
How important is it to keep momentum going now, to top the group? Originally people said it doesn't really matter where you finish because the opposition, could be one team, could be another, it doesn't matter. But is it important to keep momentum going? I think so, and we'll do everything exactly the same we've been doing. Preparing right for the games, eating well, recovering well, and I think we're going into the Belgian game. We want to win. I think that's just a natural thing with this group. The vision's so strong that we want to win every game, and the pressure's not on to win. But I'm sure all the boys and the staff will want to win. And also added into that, of course, so many Premier League players in that Belgian side. It does have a bit of extra spice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think England Belgium's always a good game to watch for the fans. So I think we want to put on a good performance for the fans, but also ourselves. So many goals in that team. We knew that coming into the championship. Perhaps we didn't expect John Stones to pop up and get a 2 today, but the captain on a hat-trick as well. Tell us a bit about him and how he's leading the team. No, for such a young captain, he's so vocal, and I think everyone respects him massively in the team, and what he's done for Tottenham and bringing it into England. We're really happy with him as a captain, and John Stones he's such a threat in the corner from set pieces. I'm delighted that he's got his goal, 2 goals.
So I expect to be buzzing with that.
Set pieces have been so important to this team. We saw that again today, and it looks like something that has been really worked on.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on that a lot, and to see it coming out in the games, and we prepare so much for it. You know, it's such a big factor in games, as you can see. So we're putting so much effort in, you know, training how we're going to set up and different runs. So, you know, we're glad that it's coming out on the pitch.
Congratulations again.
Cheers, Gabby. Cheers.
Cheers.
I've watched Loftus-Cheek since he was 11 years old. I told you yesterday, Frank, I used to play with my son, Tobias, until he got bombed out of Chelsea's academy. And lovely lad and a clear talent from an early age, and it's great to see him doing so well.
He can be very proud of his performance. He came in, he didn't let anyone down, and he was part of a brilliant team performance. Yeah.
Okay, a couple of goals to show you that to conclude things. John Stones, second goal, another set piece.
Yeah, this will delight the staff because this has been worked on. Very good. The crucial ball there is from Jordan Henderson. That little clip. Everything was perfect here until Raheem doesn't quite get the contact. He's under pressure, to be fair. Backing it up with numbers. Stones gets his second goal, but clever from England. These are details. This is hard work in preparation, which bodes well when these things are going right for you.
Other teams take notice, Gary. Other teams are looking at England thinking what a threat they are. They're obviously working incredibly hard on the training ground, and it's great for the staff when that comes off like that.
And from corners, particularly a threat, and teams are trying all sorts of tactics and nonsense to try and stop them, and this one led to a penalty. It's about the fourth time we've seen this against England at this World Cup. Bonkers, really.
It was inevitable. It had to happen, Gary. We said before the game it would be interesting to see how Panama faced this situation, because of watching what happened against Tunisia. Were they going to continue to grapple and pull, and it's almost like rugby tackling, isn't it? There was no way they could get away with it. And pleased to see that eventually the referee put a stop to it.
Yeah, Harry obviously affected by the mind games there. He's absolutely right.
A replay of the first penalty. It's identical.
Confidence. As Alan said at half time, he's actually taken mind games right out of it and said, I don't care what you do, I'm smashing this in the top corner.
Yeah, there's no saving those at all. The only major tournaments that England have scored more than 8 goals in are the 2004 Euros and 1966. And we've only played 2 games. I think the manager might be happy. Here's Gareth Southgate with Gabby.
Where do we begin? England qualified with a game to spare, and England's biggest win ever in a World Cup.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like the performance, really. But
what didn't you like?
Well, I didn't like the start, and I didn't like the goal at the end. But I guess the bits in the middle were pretty good. So, no, I'm being hypercritical. I just thought we were a little bit anxious at the start, and it was a very difficult challenge because 6 at the back, 3 in midfield. So, and then they pressed well off of that. But once we'd worked that out, then I thought we played some really good stuff for 35-40 minutes. And of course, the second half is very difficult, no matter what you say to the players at half time. At 5-0, we discussed.
What did you say?
Well, we talked about the importance of one more goal to be top of the group. So that's why the goal at the end is disappointing. But by the same token, everybody over the last 4 weeks, what they've put into it is really rewarding to see how they're playing, how they're enjoying their football. And I'm sure everybody at home has enjoyed it as well, which is great.
I'm sure they have, but you are top on by virtue of the fair play rule. How important is it to finish top of this group?
Well, we don't know is the honest answer, but you'd rather be in control of it than not. So, confidence-wise, it was important that we were able to score goals. Some big moments for Jesse Lingard today, especially. Of course, great for the captain to get his hat-trick. It meant that he didn't have the ump when I brought him off. So, I
think he'd like to have stayed on a bit longer.
I'm sure. But we've also got to keep the whole of the squad involved, and there were some challenges flying around in the game. So, and also again, our set plays were a real threat, which was pleasing to see.
There were challenges thrown around, and game management was so important in that second half as well. You didn't want to lose a player who acted out rashly. Were you pleased with that performance from your players?
Yeah, definitely. We talked about that being a challenge in this game beforehand, and we said at half time no more yellow cards. I thought Ruben was harsh that he got a yellow anyway, actually, but that was a key part of the second half, definitely.
Going forwards, Belgium expect to make changes for that game with obviously looking ahead to the last 16, or is it important to keep winning?
Well, we want to keep momentum, so we'll have to have a think about exactly how we want to, the team we want to put out, because there's an opportunity as well that players that need a match because they've not played for a while, but also we want to keep winning football matches. So yeah, it's a nice decision to have.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
It's okay, we'll find out in training in a couple of days' time. But he's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
he really is.
He can be very, very proud. He said it. He said he hopes that people are enjoying it back at home. We asked that the players to try and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's all coming together for him. He knows that bigger tests are
I presume it's his
awaiting.
right shoulder that he's struggling with.
He knows that we mustn't get carried away too much, because they've beaten two teams who aren't, and I'm being polite here about Panama, who aren't very good. But as we said, you can only beat what's in front of you, and they've done that very, very well indeed. And they, as I keep saying, they can be very proud, and so can he, because he's done an excellent job up to now.
He's got a nation excited.
Yeah, quite rightly so. As Rio said, let's get excited. You know, the perspective is one thing. We all understand where we are. We've beaten two teams that we should have beaten, but we performed very, very well. Yeah. Keep perspective, but be excited, because we're seeing good football. We're seeing a team really develop here.
Yeah, and people talked about Gareth Southgate, nice, calm individual, but he's showing a bit of passion there as well.
Yeah, there's passion, and there's a steely confidence behind that as well. And as he said in his interview there, are you happy with it, with everything you saw today? Well, I'm not happy with the beginning, I'm not happy with the end. So there is a drive, a determination, and an idea that getting the right message across to these players is important. And what is the biggest thing, I think, in this team that he's got at the moment that I've not seen for many years, he's got a confidence within this squad, which is great.
It certainly is. It's important. We've already mentioned Belgium. That game comes next for England.